Okay, let me tell you brothers something real quick. Beware of the so-called black bedbucker. Yeah, the black bedbucker. Long story short, I believe why certain black dudes who got a problem with every man traveling, getting their passports, is because they want to butt break black men they see as inferior to them or beneath them. See, you're not supposed to leave planet Niggatron. You're not supposed to cross over from the nigger zone. No, the phantom zone, the nigger zone. Yeah, you're not supposed to leave niggerdom. Or just, the Matrix, American Babylon, period. Yeah. Yeah. See, you're supposed to stay in the nigger plantation. You're supposed to be the inferior dude that's not supposed to get a bad bitch. And cooperative one. You're supposed to get the sloppy seconds. You're supposed to accept the fact that you're gonna have to fuck after certain type of dudes like Pookie and Ray Ray, maybe Dirty Dick Jamal. Yeah, Dirty Dick Jamal, the guy who just goes around and then he's unresponsible with his reproductive, and you're supposed to just be stepdad. You're supposed to be the backup fallacy for some of these women. You're supposed to take care of these guys' baby mamas, take care of their kids, right? Because you got to be the stepdad. Or you're supposed to be following their system. Certain dudes don't care if you don't do any of those things. They just, it's like this. As long as you're following the system, as long as you're not going against the system. See, passport bros are going against the system. Quote unquote game. Quote unquote mouthpiece. There's black exploitation mentality that some of these gang dudes be having. You're going against the system, so that's a problem. It's a problem when it comes to the resources. So the women and some of these dudes, they don't want you to leave because of resources. And they don't want you to leave because of social gratification. See, you're not supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to get the cream of the crop. You're not supposed to be the type of guy that can get the cream of the crop when it comes to social, being around people who appreciate you, actually being around a bad bitch, getting a bad bitch, in a family with her and stuff, and cooperative. None of this gynocracy. See, you're not supposed to go through that. That's why a lot of guys had a problem with Zoom to Thailand, like Willie D and some other joker that I don't even know who he is. I don't think anybody knew who he was until he made videos about Zoom to Thailand, and then he made videos about some other dudes traveling. And I'm not gonna say dude name, but we got passport pookies. Now, this is the kicker. Now, this guy talking about he's not an interracial channel, right? But yeah, he's in Asia. He don't travel all over Asia. And then he's trying to convince brothers to stay in Western society. Go to other Western countries. And I'm not even against that, because they're not bad as America. A lot of these Western countries are not as bad as America. You can get the beautiful women and the cooperation. I think a lot of guys blow this whole Western society thing out of proportion. That stuff is mainly in America. Maybe it's in a few parts of Western society, but that, even then, they're not as bad as America. It's levels to it. So, but the dude, he's supposed to be a passport dude, but it's like he got a mad on for Asia. And it's like he got a mad on for black men who are considered the black nerds, or the black men, they didn't fit in with black society, whatever that's supposed to mean. It's like, if you feel this way, why are you so bothered by these guys? Ain't you supposed to be the Tyrone dude with all the game and the mouthpiece? Why are you worried about those type of black dudes? And it's like he's trying to put the ownership of cooning and selling out on the so-called black nerds, but skip over Pookie and Ray Ray, skip over the so-called hotaps who really don't do nothing but talk, or the church people like the pastors, or Keisha, or Dirty Dick Jamal, or a lot of these other dysfunctional Negroes out here. You don't call them out, but you want to think you can call out the passport bro, dudes who go overseas. Part of me understands why they'll come at the passport bros. Why? Because of influence. See, there's enough brothers out here traveling, even though it's about 0.5% of us that travel. If enough of us travel, that's going to influence people. And influential influence and shit it's kind of like a virus. It just spreads out. That's going to change the game, and then these guys are going to have to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, maybe my way, the way I view life, look at life and operate in this life, wasn't the pinnacle, or wasn't the absolute solution to get what I want out of this life. Maybe there's actually a better way. A lot of these guys don't want to get in that position. They want to be right. They want their way of life being right over your way of life being right. So they're going to push back, do all the shit talk, to the point where dudes, they just make you want to just ride out on these dudes and smack the shit out of them. There's going to be a lot of shaming. And that's not going to stop us. We're still going to get our passports and travel. Not only that, this Dalgo wants to control black men, other black men want to control other black men. It's a control factor in this shit. Let me tell you something about white supremacy. White supremacy is warped people's minds to the point where even some black folks got this whole slave master mentality. This is how deep the psychosis go with some of these Negroes. This bad butt mentality, this bedbucker mentality has gotten out of hand to the point where it has become a racial identity to some of these brothers out here who want to be able to basically dominate over other black men. I gotta dominate over him. I gotta bad butt this dude because I'm better than him. I got more game than him. I get more holes than him, 304s. My Johnson bigger than his. Like, how you know? I got more game. I got game. Just start going overseas, man. You a clown. You a lame for going overseas. The women over here, why can't you just get them over here? I'm serious. It's become a racial identity to the point where, let's just say if certain ebony men who didn't meet make the cut and then meet the certain gratifications that many women want. Let's just say those guys leave. Logically, you would say that, it's more bots for them, right? But these guys won't think that because a lot of these guys been raised by single mothers, so a lot of these guys still think like a bitch. And the sad part is some of these dudes are in their mid-30s to 40s to 50s still thinking like a hoe. Still thinking like the thought that raised them. Who had trains, ran on them, and had different dudes come in their house. Because I know they was hearing that sound while they was pretending to sleep in they bedroom. Yo, why is my mama screaming? I know that was some dudes was thinking. I know. But logic doesn't matter for some of these dudes. It's how these dudes feel, man. They feel like a bitch. They want to feel like the sexual king, the alpha king, the sexual alpha, the social alpha. See, when brothers out here getting a passport and leaving, that's denying these guys that sexual alpha status, that social alpha status, because they don't have anybody to compete against and look dominant over. See, they need you more than you need them. That's why they keep saying the game and shit, because they need you to believe that shit. They need you to believe that there ain't nothing wrong with the Matrix. There's no flaws in the Matrix. It's just, man, you just lame. That's lame. And you use logic against these guys. These guys make no sense at all. And then you got these dating coaches talking about how game means everything. And I can see from a different perspective that game means everything. Game is basically strategies to get what you want out of life. That's really what game means. And then there's just similes of the game, of the word game. But when people are talking about game, we're talking about women. To be more specific. See, when you get these guys to try to be specific, now all of a sudden these guys want to try to do backflips and backtrack and filibuster. You get out of filibuster once you try to make these guys be specific. Now all of a sudden game means everything when it's convenient. So they're saying game means everything based on convenience, because that's their way of getting themselves an out of getting their work when it comes to logic. So now they can say is that since game means everything, if you're not getting what you want out of life, that's on you. It's because you don't got no game. Like these dating coaches, I'm talking about specifically the black ones, bro. They ain't shit. Mr. Lacayo and Steve the Dean and the rest of these cats, they ain't shit, bro. They the type of dudes to say that the real reason LeBron left Cleveland and went to South Beach It's because he didn't have enough game to give Cleveland Cavaliers a championship. And here's why I break this logic down. If game means everything, and if the game is used, because this is what Lucario said, the game is not about the women, it's about you, right? If game means everything, and if the game is about you, wouldn't me getting a passport and traveling, wouldn't that be game? Because game is supposed to be everything, right? It's supposed to be strategy to get what you want out of life, right? So wouldn't getting a passport and travel, wouldn't that be game? Because I'm getting what I want out of life, right? The women, culture, environment, cheaper to live, business, networking, opportunities. Because some brothers get more opportunities overseas than they do here in the States, in America. What about immigrants when they come to America? If I use their logic, right, immigrants don't got any game because they couldn't get shit popping where they was from. They had to come to America because they didn't have enough game to get shit popping where they came from, right? This shit is stupid. If you're going to a place where you get a little bit more opportunities and you can make shit happen, why not take that opportunity? It's like that thing you're supposed to do shit the hard way. And it's bull. Just realize that the way you're moving it's disturbing the hornet's nest. It's kind of sending arrows inside the matrix because you're not dealing with the gynocracy. You're not dealing with how backwards the environment is in the States. You're not dealing with the system of quote being a sexual alpha and being a social alpha. Basically just trying to out-alpha this bimbo. And I'm going to say this is probably going to piss some of these guys out, but a lot of these guys think they're in control when they're not. They're not in control, man. That bitch in control. That bitch is Homelander, and a lot of these black men are A-trained in the situation. Getting dominated, getting bitched. And watch dating coaches say that A-Train didn't have enough game to alpha his way out of that situation with Homelander. Really, my guy? Really? And have y'all seen that Obi-Wan Kenobi show? I've seen clips of it on YouTube, but that part where Darth Vader was like, "You were warned." This kind of reminds me of a lot of these daggles and a lot of these black men who are anti-passport. See, these anti-passport black men gonna tell the passport black man, "You were warned, passport black men." And when it comes to these bedbuckers, don't be surprised when all these ad hominem attacks on the internet, it starts to advance to physical shit. Like they're just gonna physically start shaming brothers if they talk about going to different cultures, countries, or that over here our brother having a conversation talking about how he be traveling. Don't be surprised when somebody gets confronted on a physical note. Let's just say a brother wears a shirt with Brazil on it, or a shirt that's displaying a different culture like Japan, Colombia, Costa Rica. Oh, you a traveler, aren't you? They're going to try to confront dudes, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's going to get crazy out here. With this whole passport thing, it's going to get crazy. It's really opened up a new can of worms. And then the bedbuckers, they're going to come together with the women and then throw little petty shots at the passport bros. And I'm not even going to lie, there's certain dudes on here on this YouTube shit that I thought was kind of cool, but I'm kind of looking at them with a side eye. Because one, they doing a little too much promoting female content creators. That's why I noticed some of these brothers on that space. Always somewhere promoting female content creators. A little too much. And then they had something to say about passports. I'm not going to say any names. But I watched that General Tito live screen, and General Tito was like, how you really feel? Because he saw somebody call this dude out. And I feel that comment, though. Because I kind of feel the same way about dude. I kind of looking at him was suspicious, bro. Because he had a lot to say about the passport bros. Talking about how going overseas is not going to fix your problem with women. As if passport bros ever said that it was going to fix your problem with women 100%. So we're talking about going overseas for women. We're talking about just getting a better deal. It's not on our heads that there won't be any problems or that they just absolute perfect. Because there's going to be some bad apples everywhere. There's always going to be bullshit no matter where you go. It's just how much you're willing to deal with, what type of bullshit they're going to be, and what type of environment are you going to get less of the bullshit from? Trying to make it seem like going overseas is not going to fix your women problem. And it's kind of like he's low-key trying to say that maybe the problem wasn't even the women. Maybe it's you're the problem, and you got to fit some type of internal issues that you have about yourself in order to get the results that you want. But the thing is, I'm not against that, but it kind of gets this assumption that most guys who talking about traveling overseas, is something wrong with them. They need to look at themselves in the mirror and try to fix what's wrong with them, when that's not even the case for the most part. I don't hear a whole bunch of horror stories, a bunch of bad experience stories from guys who from guys who travel, especially black men. I don't really hear those type of stories. I hear a lot of success out here. So maybe the problem is not the man. Maybe it's that bitch that you low-key caping for. Everybody ain't trying to be Black Lightning. I'd rather go overseas and be Black Lightning than here in the States. And really, that depends, because not everybody in the States is like that. And there are some places where brothers have got to get chance out here in the States. Like Seattle. I think Florida. I know there's at least one more place. Because I'm thinking about traveling to Seattle. I say trifling black men are basically like the agent of the Matrix. And passport black men, we're like Neo from the Matrix. You see, all these agents trying to stop us because we're going against the system. We're breaking the system. Their system. And they don't like that. And it makes them uncomfortable. It's a threat to that whole existence, and they must stop us at any cost. That's what this is. And let me know what you guys think about this video, and I'm out.